Shout out to Never Nervous ENT, Gumbo, Gifted Underdogs, Making Business Ordinary.
Speak on it. Reppin' KC till I die. We been to town. You know Westport to 18 and Vine. It's going down. We support the town. We don't hate. That's not allowed. We just on the come up like the next man on the come up showing love. We just wanna see you get a W. We ain't tryna trouble you. Come through and get comfortable with us. For real. Ain't nobody doing it like us. Stacking up the dollars is a must. Think of us. If you got something to say, come speak on it. Every little thing, we be on it. If you ain't heard of us, get up on it. We do our promotion, come be on it. If you got something to say, come speak on it. Every little thing, we be on it. If you ain't heard of us, get up on it. We do our promotion, come be on it.
What's the deal, everybody, man? It's your boy Contrail.
This your boy Mr. Fisher.
Here we speak on, man. We got two special guests in the building. We got LYLE GIBSON and JD. So
Valentine.
Labnificent. I gotta get that right. Labnificent Media Group, man. So shout out to him, man. Make sure y'all go like his page and comment, subscribe, all of that, man. He
Welcome. It's a talented man over
video
there.
Photos and videography, man. So
you want your shit done right? Holla at JD.
But we introducing the American Story. You know, you producing LYLE GIBSON's behind that. So could you tell us a little more about that?
Yeah, an American Story series started like after we finished up Legacy. We did a documentary with Jermaine Thomas on the Black Panther Party in Kansas City. And I always wanted to do something that kind of focused on history because I teach history at MCC.
Oh, that's dope.
And I said, you know, how can I create a type of series where people can grasp it like within 15, 20 minutes, you know? And that's really how it started. And I told JD, I said, hey, this is what I want to do with the project. This is where I want to go with the project. So it's not going to be like a one and done. It's going to be a sustained type of series that'll just go on perpetually. And so the first three we did were actually documentary shorts. So the first one was dealing with race. And we just looked at race in America through the lens of a biracial young lady. Then the next one we did was on immigration. And then the last one we did was on a young lady that's like Black, Native American, white, but we really explored her Native American roots and what some things that her family went through. And, you know, from the first one, who's Black, who's white, and we had a lot of conversation online about that one because it just gave everybody a platform to just talk about race, you know. So that's pretty much how it started, man.
So who is Black? Who is white?
Yeah, you know that's the.
You got to tell them about the genealogy too.
Yeah, that's the $1 million question, and we
for that's like just a title, damn near just being Black or white, you know, just to separate us in a way, but.
Exactly. And so this young lady, shout out to Molly Pons, she's kind of my bonus daughter. She is biracial, but growing up, you know, her mom being white, her dad being Black, she was rejected by her white grandparents. And, you know, I've just never heard of a child being rejected by their grandparents. Usually you go to grandparents' house, you know, you're going to get some love, you know.
Depending on the culture.
Depending on the culture.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. And so I noticed with Molly, I said she's still kind of internalizing a lot of stuff, being Black, being white, and then navigating in the world we live in. And so that's when we just decided to create this little story. And it was challenging, even from the shoot. Because, you know, it was a lot of tension, And then I could tell, too, that there was still a lot of unresolved issues that she was still trying to work out. I mean, there were times she didn't want to talk. I was like, we got to do a documentary. You're going to have to talk. You know, well, I don't want to. It's locked up. I said, no, we're going to unlock it, unpack it, so that people can benefit from it. And what I had to do was to create a narration around her story to tell the story of race in America, slavery, Jim Crow, and all that other stuff, so that people could kind of understand. And we used a couple of other my cousins too that are biracial, and how they kind of told their story within that context. But to get to your question, who's black, who's white, historically, everybody comes from Africa. I don't care where you are on the planet, and that's just, everybody comes from that African man, African woman. So,
I guess we are brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
In a way, so.
But we don't act like
Yeah. You know how that goes.
Hey, yo, what up? This young father, man, out here hanging out with Blue Line Studios and Gumbo Enterprise. Picked up my trap snacks, you know what I mean? Got me some exotic juices. Make sure you get you some when you come through. They got it all. Make sure to keep these chilled out. Peace.
So, tell us how you and JD met and how y'all came across working on this docu-series together. Or either or can,
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
Well, we met early teens, probably around 2014, 2015, and the first project that we worked on, that we officially worked on, was Legacy, Spirit of the Black Panthers, and that's a documentary about the Kansas City chapter of the Black Panthers. We both had a mutual friend, which he had already been working with, and I had already been working with, but all three of us had never worked together.
Yeah.
A guy named Jermaine Thomas. He goes by Tashi Thomas. Tashi Studios in California. Shout out to the homie.
Shout out.
But we ended up doing probably about 2 or 3 documentaries with Jermaine together. We did Legacy, Spirit of Black Panthers, Western Baptist Bible College, and then we did one called Man of 1,001 Faces. And all of those are award-winning films. It was fantastic working with them. But then after that, Lyle came to me and he said, hey, I want to do an American Story documentary series, and this is the route that I want to take. And when we were talking about it, we already knew that we were going to go into, we were going to go through issues, bumps, and hurdles and obstacles dealing with the people, because a lot of them were scarred.
Yeah.
And traumatized. But
touching on some deep stuff, like,
man, not only that, but it was just the sensitivity of it.
Yeah.
The people were very, very sensitive to these issues, and they wanted to make sure that they were handled in the best way possible.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or the most careful way possible. And so from the way we shot it, to the questions we asked, to doing DNA tests, to the locations we went to shoot, all the way down to images, information, photos, and all of that stuff that we put in there. Every one of these documentaries that we did took months to do. And so me and Lyle built a friendship and a camaraderie throughout that process.
Okay.
And so the working relationship actually turned into a brotherhood.
And I'll add, I think really the foundation is when we was working on Legacy. Because I got a chance to see him edit for the first time and how he went through that process. Because we went back and forth on some edits of Legacy. And I just remember, we said, man, something is just not clicking. And this may sound weird, but I shared this with Jermaine and JD. I said there was a dream I had, literally, where JD was driving us on a type of RV or bus around the country.
What you think about that starting off?
When he told me that, because I'm gonna give him a little back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a little.
Go back to that dream.
We're gonna hold on to that. We're gonna come right back.
Yeah.
Filmmakers, you're gonna get into points of conflict, right? So this is what it boils down to. We were editing one day. I was usually shooting. Jermaine was usually editing, and then Lyle was producing, narrating, and co-directing. And so
putting in the work.
And so we were at Jermaine's house one day. I'm gonna tell him. He's gonna put it out. We were at Jermaine's house one day, and lo and behold, that we got to this one piece of the film, and it was over historical accuracy, and Lyle was like, we need to be pinpoint accurate, and Jermaine was like, no, we could just be accurate enough where they get the gist of it. And Lyle was like, no, man, we're not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? That you give it to them all or don't give it to them at all.
Right.
Can't give it half-ass.
Yeah, you can't give it half-ass. And so they went back and forth, and it got into, well, God damn it, you know what I mean? If you going to do that, and I was like, hey, you know. And so I took it on.
You had to play the mediator.
I did. And I actually ended up editing that portion of the film. So we ended up hashing that out. And this is going back to what he's saying about his vision, about the way he wanted his journey to go forth.
Okay.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it went. And don't get me wrong, we all still brothers and stuff.
Oh, we cool. That's
That's
all.
that clash. It's bound to happen.
Yeah,
especially working with each other for a while.
exactly. You know, and it was just interesting, man. The dream was just as clear as we're talking now.
Back to the RV.
Yeah, you know, but JD was the one that was really taking us on this journey across country. But what I got out of it on that particular project, JD was really gonna have to take control of the edit.
Okay.
Because the edit, that final piece, and so he said, "Lyle, can you meet me at Starbucks out in Independence?" So, man, we pulled tables together, laptops, iPads, iMacs, you know, iMacs and everything. We just hooked up everything, got our coffee, and we started editing, man. It was like the first, 5 seconds. And I said, JD, why don't we just try a black screen with the narration? You know, in the 1960s, they didn't have cell phones to capture police brutality. That's how it started. That's how it started. And we kept meeting there a couple of times, and we built the edit. And then from there, JD said, I think I got it, man. And JD he ran with it. Yeah. And that's literally the foundation of our working relationship, and now the brotherhood. This is guys like my little brother, man.
Yeah, it is.
So y'all work very well together. You know Like,
we've been working together for years now.
Yeah.
It's been years now.
Yeah.
It's 21 now. So
Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah, man. It's been about 6 years now.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Niecy Woods down here at Blue Line Studios. You know, I come down here for my snacks. Hey, exotic snacks for sure on deck. I have my apparel, my blood moon, my gumbo, my positive energy, never nervous, born hustle made, and by any means necessary, I'm rocking with them. So come down here and see what's up at 10413 Blue Ridge Boulevard, Kansas City, Missouri. See you soon.
Gonna have to run with it,
Right.
you know. So.
And I'm before we move on, man, I just want to say this thing with the films that we've done, the amount of work that he and I do, probably 10 or 12 people would usually do on an actual film set.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about cinematography, editing, lighting, narration, executive producer, co-producer, directing, co-directing.
It's a lot of stuff people don't think about, which is actually being done, you know, by so many people, you know. Now y'all doing it just with y'all, a few.
We do virtual editing, so just like we're sitting here, we share each other's screens, you know. So I'll show him my computer screen, he'll show me his computer screen, and if we can't meet, because we live quite a distance apart, so if we can't meet, then we'll just sit there and edit virtually. And sometimes these sessions 5, 6, sometimes 7 hours, you know what I'm saying, in one sitting. And that may only be to edit 3 minutes of film.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Dedication.
Yeah,
it is. I remember one time I had to. I was helping out my parents with something, but JD had a very tight schedule. He said, "Lyle, I can only meet at such and such time." I said, "Man, I got my iPhone. I'll be on 4:35." So, you know, what do we do? Zoom or Skype?
We did Zoom. We did Skype. We did Duo. We did message, like any way we could
Don't be on your phone while you driving. You know
Please
don't do that.
It was all, you know, I had my hands on the wheel, but I was listening. And I told him, I said, okay, JD, I'm driving, so you're going to have to tell me what's on the timeline. And I could listen to the audio and hear everything, and he was just kind of guiding me through as I was driving. So We don't waste time, man.
No.
Yeah. I know he know.
Yeah.
I know he know. I know he know.
Yeah.
He one of the hardest working men in Kansas City.
Yeah.
I already know.
I'm going to a shoot after I leave here.
Yeah, I know.
You see
Yo,
how he dressed?
I'm leaving.
What got you dressed like that right now, man?
I'm going to a shoot after I leave here, man. I was
Good.
just shooting last night. Went home, went to sleep, got up, took my dog to the vet, took my dog back home, cut my son's hair, got dressed, came here. I'm going back, make sure my dog cool, and then after that, I'm going to the shoot. Then I'm going to the office and I got to edit, and then after that, I'm getting set up for tomorrow.
Work never stops.
It don't.
So where can we find the documentaries?
We got an American Story series page on YouTube. We also got a Facebook presence. And then we also try to blast things through our own social media platforms. But
And for clarity, it is an American Story documentary series.
Okay.
yes.
On YouTube and on Facebook.
Yep.
Because I think I would have just looked up an American Story, like where it at, you know.
Oh, you're going to have 9 million.
Yeah,
if you
you
don't
know,
put the documentary series on it,
Yeah.
man, you're going to have 9 million different things come up.
Yeah.
So I think we might have touched on it, but how long was the documentary series, and how long do you feel like are you gonna take it as far as like episodes or?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the first 3, to keep everything manageable, we created like these shorts. So 14 minute, 18 minute, 20 minutes, something around there for the first 3. This 4th one that we're working on, it's an hour and 40 minutes.
Almost an hour and 45 minutes. It's almost
Yeah.
2 hours long.
Yeah. It's a full feature-length documentary. I'm going to take the series as long as, I have ideas or he has ideas about things that we can do that are like relative to American history, the little known stuff in American history. So
That's dope.
That is dope.
So did COVID-19 affect y'all work at all? It affected a lot of people's work.
well, it did and it didn't.
Y'all mostly on computers, and phones and stuff. So I know
Yeah.
y'all.
We had to for part 4, we had to be very mindful with our interviews.
Yeah.
And so, especially because we had some elderly people that we interviewed, so we were mindful. We mask up and things like that.
And then distance and time. Some people could only do, like with Chester, his interview wasn't long at all. We did maybe 30 minutes with Chester.
Yeah.
And then we was like all the way on the other side. Like, man, Chester was probably in that corner over there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we was
distance.
like way back here.
Yeah.
We had a boom mic all the way over there. It was
Okay.
ridiculous.
Yeah. But we, like I said, we
Got
just
the tools for it.
Man.
we just wanted to be respectful because that was like before they was talking about vaccines and all the other stuff. We were just trying to be mindful and respectful, of the elderly when we did these interviews. And so I think the tightest quarters that we had was in Bishop Thurston's office.
No, Ara's was tighter than that. Her
Oh,
living room.
okay.
Because me, you, her husband, and Damon, we were all like
That's true.
in like this space.
Yeah, that's
You know
true.
what I mean?
That's
Houston had he had a big desk in between us, so it wasn't as tight.
Yeah.
So y'all was breaking COVID protocol.
No,
That's what it sounds like.
Well, actually,
I can neither confirm nor deny anything
Okay.
that Chris is talking
Did y'all have
about right
masks
now.
on at least?
Oh yeah, definitely mask on.
Yeah, good. We
But
good.
you know,
then.
Who knows what happens off
Who
camera?
knows?
yeah.
Nobody ever knows, man.
So you guys are working on any new projects?
Well, we're gonna shop this project for the time being, probably because this project was like almost 18 months. It was probably the longest project that I personally ever worked on. I know it's the longest project that he's worked on. So we're gonna shop this, film festivals, promote it, screenings, stuff like that, and then early 2022, I believe, right? We're gonna start on episode 5 of an American Story documentary series.
And part 4, the title, it's a long title, but it's The Journey of Pentecostalism from Tennessee to Kansas. So anybody that has heard of a Church of God in Christ, it really kind of gives the history going back to slavery into the late 19th century, into the early 20th century. And then how they kind of moved from Tennessee into Kansas. And what a lot of people don't realize, as far as church in general, it's the Black Pentecostal movement that laid the foundation. Most musicians have had experience playing in a Kojic church, going back from the 1950s, 60s, up to now. Timberland, you know.
Yep.
A lot of musicians have had experience playing, and so we just talk a little bit about the cultural importance of that particular movement. Part 5, as JD alluded to, we're going to look at, it's actually kind of closer to home for my kids through their mother's family, this Black woman in 1820 owned land in Tennessee. Most Black people were enslaved. Women were not owning hardly nothing.
That's dope. 1820 though, yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna. It's just and the thing about it from the records, I only got like a 20, maybe 25 year span on her life. And after 1840, I don't know. I think she died, but her kids continued on the land. Some of them moved into Kansas. So I think it's just gonna be an interesting story, you know. And got some ideas. I want to work with a young lady here in Kansas City, Karis Harrington. She's going to be representing who that woman was. So we're going to kind of have some interplay. She's going to do some things on camera for us to help bring her story to life. So,
and shout out to Karis. She is also one of the ring shout dancers in an American Story documentary series Part 4.
Lynette and Imani also.
Shout out to Lynette and Imani also.
Yeah.
So, how can actors or producers find you guys for work?
I'm sorry, say that again now.
How can actors or producers come to you guys for work?
You know, usually we are open, because it's like I'll ask JD. Sometimes we use social media if we have specific things, and we're upfront. We tell people up front, hey, this is no budget.
Right.
You know, I probably can give you some food. We'll feed you. You know.
Yeah, we know about that. We can
that's the least we can do.
Yeah, you know.
You might get a couple dollars of gas.
Yeah, you know, and then, but I also tell people you will get your proper credit in the film. You know, I don't believe in doing people like that. And most of the time, what I find, people are just willing just to participate, man, and help out. And so, but yeah, we use social media to try to reach out to people. But I've had people, you know, since Part 4, we've really been promoting some things. A lot of people have been, you know, kind of coming to me saying, hey, LYLE, you know, what y'all going to be doing in the future? And I want to be a part of this. And so we're always open to that too, you know. But like I said, I try to tell everybody up front, you know, hey, this is kind of how things go. This is how we work. It's always a process to things. Right. So, yeah.
To piggyback on what Lyle is saying, if anybody wants to help out, assist, support, or take part in an American Story documentary series, you can find us on YouTube at an American Story documentary series. You can go to our Facebook page at an American Story documentary series on Facebook, or you can reach out to us on Pine Hill Productions at gmail.com or the Latinificent Media Group at gmail.com for booking or support.
So that goes with this. Tell us what the overall agenda of this docuseries, like people working with y'all, what can they be a part of?
I think the overall thing, it kind of goes back to just my role as a teacher. You know, history sometimes can be just one of those subjects that's too far away.
I ain't like history in school, man.
Yeah.
I had to get older and realize history is important. So,
and you know, I was the same way. It was my time in the military when I was stationed overseas. That's when the light bulb came on about the importance. But what I want with this series is for people, whether it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or an hour, 45 minutes, it's like, oh, wow, I didn't realize that. And what I'm finding out...
What's good, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Fisher. I'm down here at Blue Line Studios and Gumbo Enterprise. I'm just here to let y'all know y'all need to get y'all trap snacks in your after hours and lights. And don't forget, Blue Line Studios has 20 for 20s on the photos too. Come holler at us, 10413 Blue Ridge Boulevard.
Yeah, they will engage in a documentary. Whether it's on their phone, PC, or whatever, they'll sit down and watch it.
Right.
And so we can drop those nuggets so people can come away with something that's not necessarily in a textbook, you know.
Because nowadays people want to see it on video.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And two, it's a way to tell the story, but from an African American perspective, a black perspective. And we're not throwing shade on anybody else because we've told the story of immigration.
Yes.
You know, but we wanted to tell it from our perspective using those who had actually gone through that experience, you know, so.
And to not catapult, but piggyback on what Lyle is saying, if anybody remembers the group BDP or Boogie Down Productions, they had this thing, they always talked about edutainment, where you want to educate and entertain simultaneously.
Okay.
That's what I look at my participation in An American Story and the projects that we do together, me and Lyle Gibson. I always look at this as edutainment because you want to engage them, you want them to be informed, and you want them to want to spread the word to get other people informed and to do it accurately, you know.
yeah, that's what it is, man. So the American Story documentary series. Make sure y'all go look that up. Is it a timeline or?
Well, there's not really a timeline. You can go, but for the film, yes. For episode 4, it should be released when? September?
Yeah, we're working on the date. Got to have a meeting with one of our producers, Ladrian Brown. Thank you, Ladrian, and Marco Johnson.
And Marco Johnson, yes.
But we're going to try to have a September special online screening through YouTube. Then we're
That's
going
big.
Yeah, we're going to look at also
Member only.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's an October date that ties into a special event with Ladrian's family. And then, like I said, the film festivals. And then once we get through October, November, then we're going to, make that available so people can go check it out. But we have a promo that's up now. And we're going to start recycling that promo to get people interested again so they know, hey, September is coming up right around the corner.
So you're gonna keep us updated.
Yep.
So
Looking forward to it.
I appreciate y'all for stopping through. JD, Lyle Gibson, man.
Yeah.
So I want y'all to go to our Patreon, check out the Cooking with Crooks seasons, speak on the interviews, man. Black Cinema Media. It's only $3 a month.
$3.
Man, I got some behind the scenes coming, man. So it's gonna be funny as hell, man. Make sure y'all tune in, man. So that's the show, man. And speak on it, man. We out here.
If you got something to say, come speak on it.